Hey everybody. Well, today we're going to take a look at the Franklin Mint Lost in Space robot figure. So, I don't know when this figure came out. It's been quite a long time. It's been at least 10 years, possibly 15. But it was a really nicely done piece by Franklin Mint. So, Franklin Mint, mostly they used to do plates and things like that, like collector plates. And then they started getting into sci-fi stuff like Star Trek collectibles, spaceships, and things like that. And then they came out with this robot. And I remember when these came out, they sold like hotcakes. It was probably, I mean, most of the stuff I ever saw from Franklin Mint never really sold out or sold a whole lot of them. But this one here, this sold out really quick. Okay, so getting a closer look at this now. So it has this decorative glass globe that goes on it, which is nice to keep the dust off of it. But you can actually take this off, which we're going to do for the look of this. And now we can see close up that they actually got the proportions of the robot really well done. A lot of times it seems like the robot's proportions when they're done in miniature like this are off a little bit, but especially in the leg area. They actually got the squishy looking legs that the robot actually has, so that looks really good. Down here in the tread section, I love that you can see the little tread marks in the sand. That's where I got the idea to do the tread marks in the sand for my full-size robot, so that's where I got the idea from. And then here you can see the soil sample door, and they got this nice silver texturing going on the tread section there. There's the knees, the legs again. They even have the vents on the side here. There's no programming bay inside there. They didn't get quite that detailed, but it still looks really good. And then on the chest area here, they did kind of screw up on the buttons. The buttons are actually supposed to be, the outer buttons are supposed to be orange, then the next row in is green, and then the middle row is red, but instead they just kind of mixed it up with the orange, yellow, and green there. But that's okay. I mean, it's, I'm neither here nor there about it. And then the belly lights there, the red and blue ones are actually multicolored on the real robot, so they just went with red and blue. But that's okay, it still looks good. That's where the microphone normally goes, I mean the knob normally goes right there, and then that's the microphone right there. The neon looks really good. There's a light behind there, and I'll show you the light and sound here in just a little bit. And then the collar looks pretty good. I'm glad they left it clear. The proportions on that are just a little off, but it still looks okay. You got the red and yellow ears, and since the yellow ears on the right there, that would indicate this is from the third season, because that's the way his ears were for that. And then you also got the brain here with the nice little hieroglyphics that they just kind of drew in, and then also the brain cup as well here. So they got the pretty good detail in the brain. I like how they did his claws. They actually put the angle on it. See how they kind of angle inward? That's the way they're supposed to look. Oftentimes on toys or miniatures of the robot, they always just put them straight out, which never looks right. And then here's where the arms are. It's nicely retracted there. And then he's got this nice little rock formation that he's kind of snuggled in, which looks really cool. They have these cool, typical of Lost in Space, it was a color show in 1969 or 65 to 69 or whatever that show ran from, and they're trying to utilize color TV back in those days because it was kind of a new thing, and so a lot of the rock formations and stuff had these kind of crazy colors on it, and the rocks kind of look like the rock formations that we saw on that show. There's the robot's power pack. I like when they actually put that detail on there. So yeah, and then he's standing on this cool base here, and you'll notice the overall look of this is very reminiscent of the Jupiter 2, which I think is really cool, especially on the bottom right there. So here's the Lost in Space logo, and then they use this same iridescent paint scheme all around it. There's one of the ramps, and the ramps make up the feet on this. There's 3 of those. Some more cool details right here with those crazy colors again. I mean, it looks really good. I actually like the way it looks. Almost looks like there's damage done to it. You can see on the inside some window porthole kind of things going on there. So yeah, I mean, they did a really good job on the details. Really pretty good. All right, let's take a look at the bottom of it. So on the bottom here, we can see that there is a speaker hole there. And the sound isn't really that loud. I haven't had this turned on in quite a few years, and I thought that it was louder than it actually is. So you'll hear it here in just a second. But I don't know, maybe if the speakers just deteriorated over the years or what. But yeah, it just seems like it's not very loud. This is the little plate on the bottom. So it says the Classic Series Robot B9 limited edition. You can see there's a number right there, A1003. If I can remember right, I think they had a limited edition of 1,996 of these. So because the Jupiter 2 supposedly took off in 1996, and I think that was the limited edition number, if I can remember. So yeah, it's kind of cool how they did that. The one thing I don't like about this is the button to turn on the lights and sound effects. And he only says a couple of phrases, but it's really inconveniently placed down here. You have to always reach under there to kind of get to it. So I wish they would have made, you know, maybe the they should have made this the button right here that you just put on the front. All right, so let me fire him up and we can hear what he sounds like. All right, so I have to reach under the base right here to push the button, and so here we go.
Alpha Control. Come in, Alpha Control. This is the robot. We appear to be lost in space. Please help. Danger, Will Robinson. Danger. Sensors indicate an alien intruder. Warning, warning.
See how low that is? I could have sworn that it was louder, so let me put the speaker up to the camera, and then maybe you can hear it better, just in case. So let me flip this around here.
Alpha Control. Come in, Alpha Control. This is the robot. We appear to be lost in space. Please help. Danger, Will Robinson. Danger. Sensors indicate an alien intruder. Warning, warning.
So yeah, he's got just a short little vocal part there, but I'm really kind of shocked how low it is. So yeah, I don't know if the, like I said, I don't know if there was something going on with the speaker, or maybe I just remember it being louder than it actually is. It is a little louder when it's sitting down on the table.
Alpha Control. Come in, Alpha Control. This is the robot. We appear to be lost in space. Please help. Danger, Will Robinson. Danger. Sensors indicate an alien intruder. Warning, warning.
So, yeah, it's pretty cool. So that's Dick Tufeld's actual voice. He's the one that did the voice for the robot. He was also the announcer on the show. He's the one that at the beginning of every episode goes, "Last week, as you recall." And so, yeah, I think he must have made those especially for this, because I don't think he had those exact lines on there. So, yeah, pretty cool. So that is the Franklin Mint Lost in Space robot. So according to the label on the bottom, the copyright date, it says 1998. So that would make this thing about 22 or 23 years old now as of the making of this video. And I didn't realize it's been that long. But anyway, these things are really cool. It was probably one of the better things that Franklin Mint made. I did like some of their Star Trek stuff, but some of that was of varying quality. But this here, you know, it really has a nice quality look to it. It looks really good, very accurate to the robot, and the whole diorama of it looks really cool. I do wish the sound was louder, and I think it probably was, but I just think maybe due to age, it's maybe lost some of its volume or something. I was going to take it apart and look inside, but the screws that are on the bottom are kind of weird. It looks like there was one, I don't know, I can't tell if they're Phillips or not, but I don't really want to mess with it too much anyway. So these are still available as far as finding them on eBay. Franklin Mint stopped making these years ago, but like I said, they pretty much sold out. But you can find them on eBay for about $100, I think is what they're going for, some more than that. And just make sure it's in working order if you decide to get one of these. But it really is a pretty cool piece. I mean, I love it. I think it looks really cool. It's definitely a very accurate representation of the robot, and I do think it's probably one of Franklin Mint's better pieces that they made. I just think it looks really, really cool. So, yeah, so if you want one, try to hunt one down and see if you can get a good price on them, and hopefully yours will be louder than mine. All right, well, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please give it a like and subscribe also if you'd like. So thank you so much for watching. I very much appreciate it, and I'll see you on the next video. So thanks again, and have a good one.